Threading the machine. Place your cone of thread on the spool pin. Do look to see, if you're using a large cone, that you have the spool adapter in place. If you're using a small spool of thread, take the cone adapter off. For today, we're using a cone of thread, so the cone adapter is going to be on. This is labeled number 1. Follow the numbers. So your cone goes on the spool pin on the cone adapter. Number 2, the thread mast. We are going to load from the back to the front, so your thread comes up from the back of the mast to the front of the mast. Number 3, thread guide. Number 4, and I'm going to lay my hand on the thread to keep some tension on it. Number 4, the second thread guide, we go from the back to the front, through the top hole, bring it back around, from the back to the front, through the bottom hole. We do not use the middle hole. Now, occasionally, your thread will loop over the top of this thread guide. Just take your finger and flip it right back over the top, and your thread will spool off perfectly. Number 5, another thread guide. Number 6, and this is very important, your thread comes underneath through the tension discs. Do not get your thread behind the tension discs, like this. Do not get your thread to the front of the tension discs. If the thread goes either one of those two places, you will have a mess on the bottom of your quilt. So double check the thread is seated in the tension discs. You will hear and you will feel the thread jump into place. Wrap the thread around, grab the check spring, test that it's bouncing up and down under the saddle hook, pardon my hands, from the back to the front of the take-up lever, pardon my hand again, got a tangle, hold on just a second, even I don't get it the first time every time. There we go. Alright, so through the take-up lever, I'm still going back to the front. This was number 9. Now, number 10, we go through the front thread guide from the front to the back. At that point, we let the thread drop. I'm going to go around to the front of the machine. And Darren, our lovely cameraman, is going to try and get me threading. Now, I thread the machine at the needle thread guide from the front to the back, and then I thread the needle from the front to the back. And that is threading the crown jewel.